Hi everyone and welcome back to Maths and Physics Maths Assignments. Today's classwork on algebraic expression. We're looking at the number system and irrational numbers, alright? Or between which two integers a number lies. Alright, so first and foremost, to answer this, I need to know the first 13 perfect square numbers, which is 1, 4, 9, 16, all the way to 169, meaning 13 times 13, 12 times 12, 7 times 7, etc. Alright, so between which two integers does each irrational number lie? Remember, it's irrational. 7 there, as you can see, don't form part of the perfect square numbers. So because it's not a perfect square, square root of a perfect square will not be a rational number, but it will be irrational, having non-recurring decimals. Alright, so if you look at 7, we have 1, 4, 9. 7 falls between the values 4 and 9. So I can say square root 7 should be greater than the square root of 4. It's bigger than that, but less than the square root of 9. Square root 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Square root 9 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So square root 7 would lie between 2 and 3. Square root 7 is greater than 2, less than 3, meaning it's going to give me an answer of 2 comma something going on. Alright, if you look at the second one here, we've given you square root 26. So the value 26 falls between the value 25 and 36. Alright, so therefore square root 26 must be greater than the square root of 25, but smaller than the square root of 36. Meaning if I punch this in the calculator, I would get the answer between 5 and 6. So square root 26 greater than square root 25, or less than square root 36. Square root 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. Square root 36 is 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. So square root 26 greater than 5, smaller than 6, meaning my answer would be 5 comma something something. You can even check it on your calculator. Let's look at the other way of doing this. Alright, so my two inequality signs, both facing to the left, is the same as using the word and. So I can say there, square root 17 would be between square root 4 and square root 9, meaning my answer would be between 2 and 3. I'm not sure which one of the two methods your teachers prefer, but I'm not doing both of them. Square root 26 would be between 25 and 36. So square root 25 is 5 and square root 36 is 6. So that answer would be between 5 and 6. Alright, so hope you follow. Let's look at the second problem. Between which two integers does each irrational number lie? So 15 we should know is between 9 and 16. Right, because it's negative square root 15, it would be greater than negative square root 9 and less than negative square root 16. So square root of 9, negative 3, square root of 16 would give me negative 4. So negative square root 15 greater than negative 3, less than negative 4. Square root 120 is greater than square root or negative square root 100 and less than negative square root 121. Those are the two perfect squares. Square root 100 is negative 10. Square root 121 is negative 11. So negative square root 120 is greater than negative 10, less than negative 11. Alright, I hope you follow. Let's look at the next set of problems. Alright, or a different way of doing it. Now instead of using greater and less than, I can also use and. So 15 is greater than 9 or less than 16. So square root of negative 9, negative 3, square root of 16, negative 4. So negative 3 and negative 4. 120, negative 100, square root 100 and negative square root 124. So that's negative 10 and negative 11. So as I said, it's up to you which one of the two methods your teacher uses. Alright, let's look at cube numbers. So we need to memorize and know the first 7 cube numbers as per instructions of our ETP. So 1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343. So between which two integers does each irrational number lie? So cube root 17 lies between 8 and 27. So I can say cube root 17 is greater than cube root 8, and it's less than cube root 27. So 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8. 3 times 3 times 3 would give me 27. So cube root 17 is greater than 2 and less than 3. Cube root 200 is less than cube root 216, and it's greater than cube root 125. So that gives me 5 times 5 times 5, so therefore 5. 6 times 6 times 6, therefore 6. So cube root 200 greater than 5, less than 6. Alright, also do it the other way around. Cube root 17 lies between 8, cube root 8 and cube root 27. So my answer would be between 2 and 3. Cube root 200 lies between 125 and 216. So therefore cube root 125 and cube root 216, which gives me 5 and 6. Right, if we look at the next example, or between which two integers does each rational number lie? Cube root 36. Right, so 36 is greater than the cube root of 27, negative, and less than the cube root of negative 64. So that gives me negative 3 and negative 4. So negative cube root 36 greater than negative 3, less than 4. For D, negative cube root 220 greater than negative cube root 216 and less than negative cube root 343. So that gives me negative 6 and negative 7. And if we do it the other way around, that is simply we put and negative cube root 27 and negative cube root 64, negative 3 and negative 4. And the side negative cube root 216 smaller than 220, 343 bigger than 220, negative 6 and negative 7. So I hope you follow. So that is one of our last questions in the variations we test. So we're going to do some classwork on this, and we're going to do some exam content given on this so that you can see how we test it overall. But yeah, that covers the classwork under number systems. God bless. Bye.